Warlord Kethvar's mandibles clicked in amusement as he reviewed the transmission from the small blue world orbiting an unremarkable yellow star. The holographic display showed a primitive bipedal creature, a human, according to the data, standing behind what appeared to be a wooden podium. "We reject your terms unconditionally," the human declared, its soft features set in determination. "Earth will not surrender, and we will not pay tribute to your empire." The assembled war council of the hegemony erupted in chittering laughter. General Voxtel, a battle-scarred Thraxian, shook his armored head. "Warlord, these creatures have barely mastered chemical propulsion. Their largest vessel wouldn't qualify as a maintenance shuttle in our fleet." Kethvar's four eyes gleamed with predatory satisfaction. "Indeed, their audacity is almost refreshing. How long since a species has been foolish enough to defy us outright?" "Not since the Altarian Confederacy, sir. 3 centuries ago," his aide reported. "And we glassed their homeworld in a single afternoon." Kethvar stretched his razor-sharp claws. "Prepare the subjugation fleet. We'll make an example of these humans that will echo across the galaxy for another 300 years. The hegemony's war machine ground into motion with terrifying efficiency. Within days, a fleet of 200 vessels, dreadnoughts, cruisers, and fighter squadrons emerged from hyperspace at the edge of the Sol system. Each ship bristled with weapons capable of cracking moons, powered by technologies the humans couldn't even comprehend. Kethvar stood on the bridge of his flagship, the Eternal Dominion, watching the primitive world grow larger on the view screen. Scattered across the system were the pathetic remnants of humanity's navy, metal cylinders propelled by controlled explosions, armed with crude projectile weapons and primitive energy beams. "Sir," his communications officer announced, "we're receiving another transmission from the planet." The same human appeared on screen, though now he stood in what appeared to be an underground bunker. "This is Secretary General Chen of the United Earth Government. You have 30 seconds to leave our system or face the consequences." The bridge fell silent for a moment before erupting in howls of laughter. Even Kethvar's usually stoic demeanor cracked. "Consequences? From them?" He wiped tears from his eyes. "By all means, Secretary General Chen, show us these consequences." Chen's expression remained unchanged. "Very well. Operation Checkmate is authorized." The transmission ended. Kethvar was about to order the bombardment to begin when his tactical officer's voice cut through the bridge chatter, sharp with confusion. "Sir, I'm reading massive gravitational distortions throughout the system. Elaborate. Unknown contacts, emerging from... I don't understand these readings. They're not coming from hyperspace. They're just appearing." The first ship materialized 2 kilometers off the Eternal Dominion's starboard bow. Kethvar's blood turned to ice. The vessel was enormous, easily 3 times the length of his flagship, and bristling with weapon arrays that hummed with barely contained energy. Its hull was a seamless blend of black metal and what appeared to be crystalline structures, unmarked by any civilization in the galactic database. "Where did that come from?" General Voxtal demanded. Before anyone could answer, more ships began appearing throughout the system. Dozens, then hundreds, each one larger and more menacing than anything in the hegemony's fleet. "Sir," the communications officer stammered, "we're being hailed by the unknown vessels." On screen, the face that appeared was human, but not the same primitive creature from before. This human wore a uniform of midnight blue, decorated with insignia that seemed to shift and flow like liquid metal. His eyes held the cold confidence of someone who had seen the birth and death of stars. "I am Admiral Harrison of the Terran Deep Space Fleet," the human said. "You were warned to leave our system. You chose not to listen." Kethvar found his voice. "Impossible. Our intelligence reports show humans barely capable of reaching their own moon. Your technology is centuries behind ours." Admiral Harrison's smile was razor-thin. "Your intelligence is 200 years out of date, Warlord. We've been watching your empire's expansion with great interest. Did you really think a species capable of spaceflight would remain stagnant while you conquered half the galaxy? The truth hit Kethvar like a plasma bolt to the chest. You've been hiding your true capabilities. We've been learning, Harrison corrected. Every species you conquered, every technology you claimed, every tactical doctrine you employed, we studied it all, and then we improved upon it. The holographic display around Kethvar's command throne showed the tactical situation with brutal clarity. His fleet of 200 ships was now surrounded by over 800 human vessels, each one registering power signatures that made his dreadnoughts look like shuttlecraft. The galaxy believed humans were weak because we chose to appear weak, Harrison continued. We allowed you to see the Earth you expected to see, a single world, technologically primitive, politically divided. What you couldn't see was the industrial complex we built in the Kuiper Belt, the research stations hidden in interstellar space, the colonies we established in systems your scouts never bothered to explore. General Voxtal snarled. Even if this is true, you're still just one species against an empire of thousands. One species that learned from the mistakes of every civilization you destroyed, Harrison replied. We know your tactics, your technologies, your weaknesses, but more importantly, we know something your empire never learned. Which is? That the greatest weapon isn't the biggest gun, it's patience. Harrison's image leaned forward. You have 60 seconds to begin withdrawing from our system, Warlord. After that, we demonstrate why patience is a virtue. Kethvar's pride warred with his survival instincts. The hegemony had never retreated from a weaker foe. But as he stared at the wall of human ships surrounding his fleet, he realized the terrible truth. They were no longer the stronger force. Signal the fleet, he said quietly. All ships, begin withdrawal to hyperspace. As the hegemony vessels limped away from Sol system, Kethvar couldn't shake the feeling that the galaxy had just shifted on its axis. For 3,000 years, the hegemony had expanded unopposed, crushing any resistance. Now, for the first time, they had met their match, and humanity was just getting started.